Well, my friends, if you feel like you're alone with your suffering and fear and anxiety in light of the state of the world right now and all the events, don't be. It's wake up and greet the day and be in it, experience it, and be as positive as you can, because that's what the universe wants from you. My mind is reeling and meandering and recoiling after all this recent sadness and unspeakable tragedy in my life personally and around the world. As with many of you, it is concurrent with your own trials and tribulations. But there will, as I've said recently, I think that this is a turning point. And I think masks are coming off and subtle changes are taking place. I think there is a shifting of sides. I think there are sincere people who have changed on a dime, turned around their politics because of what's happening. And I think there are also turncoats who fear for their lives now. Well, let me tell you, in my personal rhetoric, the last thing I want to do is precipitate real friction that comes to blows and urge people to physically attack each other. And I think that people, yes, I would urge you to fight, but I would urge you to fight sensibly and with wisdom, and more with words and pens. But let me just say that those who are urging civil war, race wars, things like that, have never not only really experienced, but really they lack the vivid imagination that some of us do. These people have never heard the screams of their neighbors and found them gasping in their own gut piles out on their lawns, and seen marauders running away through the trees, or better, worse yet, toward them with implements of destruction. The sheer horror, the sheer hell that is war has been visited upon us, whether civil or revolutionary. We've seen it. We've been there. Our ancestors, not so long ago, have taken up arms against their brothers, their cousins, their fathers, their uncles. We're too close for that. And if I urge you to stop with that kind of rhetoric, if that's where you're going, because all you've seen is movies. You've never smelled the smell of the death. Most of you. You've never known the sheer horror. Some of you have, and I'm sure some of you are willing to speak on it. But there's nothing that can prepare you for that. And I'm a little bit fearful, but I'm trying not to dwell in that house of what may come. And can we come back? I know a lot of people think that that's crazy, and to think that this recent event with Charlie Kirk, that something like that would precipitate this. But I fear that in a first blood scenario, this could be just such a thing to precipitate mass violence. And as many of you remember Jefferson saying that from time to time the tree of liberty needs being refreshed with the blood of patriots and tyrants. And who are the patriots? Who are the tyrants? Well, I have my conclusions on who the tyrants are, and I think the tyrants are within both parties. It's a bicameral sort of thing, but I think it's primarily the left who've pushed too hard with their agendas. And the gaslighting, well, they're being hateful and divisive and restricting of freedoms. They are at the same time saying that they champion those things, and we've become aware and we've become awakened to that fact, and that it is irreconcilable that this party that claims to be the party of freedom is wanting to destroy women's rights, destroy the rights and protections of unborn children, and gaslighting us into thinking that we're the animals. I've learned it's taken me a long time to learn and to recognize that intelligence doesn't trump wisdom. Intelligence, wisdom, those are two completely different things. They are as unrelated as, I would dare say, religion and true virtue. They can exist separate and apart. I will hear your verse and parable, and you will hear my philosophy and my stories. And both vessels carry water. Both have wisdom. I consider what is inside of men, and when I see intelligent people, I don't automatically recognize wisdom. It's a foolish thing to think that way. And therein lies a huge problem, is that we have a lot of very, very highly intelligent people who mean us harm. And I mean us collectively. They're destroying our way of life currently. The left is, because they're ushering in, we've seen it, and we've got to stop mincing words. We've seen this mass, what they call immigration, which is invasion. And just their unwillingness to be logical and sober about what happened there when the Biden administration brought in this huge influx of illegals and started right away giving them money and rights and trying to set them up to vote and enhance the power of that party, that movement. That was an invasion. That was a foreign invasion brought in by our own people, by Americans, by liberal Democrats, right? They're doing the same thing with Islam, okay? Now, I understand about freedom of religion. I get that. But I think we need some sort of amendment and protection from dangerous religions, dangerous ideologies that want and seek to destroy our way of life. I have told you I'm not a religious man with religious convictions, and I always see danger in that organized religion. It's just historical if you look to history. And I see that with Islam. Don't let them gaslight you and tell you that this is not a dangerous religion. It is founded on treachery, on murder and mayhem, and kill those infidels who don't believe, and tax them, etc. So the desire of that religion and those practitioners is to humiliate, to subjugate, and destroy those cultures that do not follow. Let me clarify about my aversion to religion. Again, that is not me judging you and your religion. I accept and appreciate all our differences in belief, unless they do mean us harm, okay? But my lack of indoctrination affords me the liberty to an open field of thought, whereas others are confined and restricted to a closed circuit of thought. if you think about it, I mean, as I said earlier, this chain is as good as its weakest link, and not just people around you, but you yourself. You know, I'm not trying to unbrainwash you or bring you into some cult or anything. Believe what you believe, but I just propose to you, just imagine. There's the thing, is people who are dogmatic in their religion don't allow themselves to think certain things, and that's not right. You should explore all manner of thought, unless you recognize that thought that's coming into your head as a desire to harm others. As long as it's just you exploring what is out there and what is possible, I think that is good, and not just good, but prudent. Okay, so this is my approach, my demeanor with religion and the whole, like I say, dogmatic, organized process of you must believe this, you must not think about that. I have no time for that. We need to explore all possibilities, and religion very much limits us. Okay, so the time for being foolishly gaslit and humbly going along with the bullshit is over. Am I saying pick up a sword? No, I am not. I'm saying use this. Use the pen, use the keyboard, use the vote, as we still have the right to do. But I'm just, my mind is frazzled and whirling, to say the least. I want for people to think, the people that think the way that I do, I want them to exercise caution and thoughtfulness and not mindless fury. Use strategy and temperance and, if you will, patience. But we have to devise a plan to totally and permanently take back control. The adults need to be in control now. And I'm not saying that we can no longer be the republic which we once were. We have to differentiate between this modern democracy and the representative government. You know, these people work for us, and we have to control them. It has been the other way around for too long. We were formed as a representative republic, and that has been forgotten, and the balance of power has shifted to where we're out of whack. We are disoriented, and we're reminded that when people fear the government, there is tyranny, and when the government fears the people, there is liberty. It can't be said enough, and that's we're at a point in time where we're going to rekindle the American spirit, and we're going to go back to the original plan. They say you can't go back home, but we simply have to. It was the best form of government in world history. The way we had it set up, with all of our freedom, for all of our faults and downfalls, we had set up an amazing republic, an amazing land of freedom, and we're losing it. We can't lose this. We owe it to our children, to ourselves, you know, and many of us in our golden years, to recapture it, and we can. And you just have to believe. You have to be positive and stay focused. And let me remind you, it is more important now than ever to hold our own party accountable, to demand responsible leadership from those we've elected. Remind them that we've elected them, and they represent our desires, needs, wants, and desires, not their own whims and fancies. I'm talking about our party and our representatives, whatever party you may have. That has been the weakness of the left, is that they have rallied behind false leadership, bad leadership, just because it's what they call around here, they're yellow dog Democrats. I would sooner vote for a yellow dog than a Republican kind of thing. And remember, the Republicans are human beings. Human beings have faults. There is evil on our side too. Remember that. And don't forget that it would have served us all well for the Democrats to remember that. Okay? Think about that. Ferret them out now. Vote them out. It is our responsibility. This chain is as good as its weakest link, after all, isn't it? We can't allow that. And wish that they hadn't. Anyway, I know that this is a meandering talk, but I know that a lot of you can relate right now. So, but we'll talk more soon. I just wanted to share some thoughts and give a little pep talk, if you can call it that. But just stay strong, everybody, and faithful, and find joy in every moment, okay? Bye for now.